Good afternoon or morning or evening, depending on when you're watching this. Welcome to Dishing with Diamonds. My name is Rainey Anderson, and I have the privilege of being a Diamond Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. Before we get started, I have to remind everybody that this is not a corporate-sponsored piece of media, nor are we making any medical claims or financial claims. We are simply just sharing our stories as they've happened to us through this amazing journey. I have the privilege of introducing to y'all a friend of mine who also happens to be a diamond with Plexus Worldwide. This is Ariel Post.
Hey guys.
Ariel lives in McKinney, Texas, and Ariel and I did life together way before there was ever anything that we ever knew from Plexus. Our kiddos are the same age. They attend, well, Griffin's still there and Peyton as well, and they attend McKinney Christian Academy. And Ariel and I met being room moms together, and that's where this love story begins.
Yeah.
Ariel, thanks so much for taking your time and sharing it with us today.
Thanks for having me. I'm super excited.
Hey, well, we're just going to get right into it. I'm going to ask you some questions, and as this group that so loyally tunes in knows, this is just two friends having a conversation in more of an interview style format. So talk to me about what life looked like before Plexus.
Okay. Well, and Rainey, like she said, we knew each other for like a year and a half before Plexus. I thought I had everything. Looking in, I was a stay-at-home mom. I was on the PTA with Rainey. I was a room mom, two precious kids, a husband with a hardworking job. I was, like I said, a stay-at-home mom, went out to lunch with my friends. But at the same time, and that's what I knew. I'd been a stay-at-home mom for 6 years before Plexus. So everything looked picture perfect. I didn't think we needed any extra money. And I know, just saying that now, I cringe. I mean, we could all use extra money, right? It doesn't matter. But at the time, I was like, we don't need any extra money. But also, I was also suffering, which a lot of people didn't know. I had anxiety. I had to take prescription medication for that. I also, along with the anxiety, I got horrible migraines. I took prescription medication for that. And I also had high blood pressure, and I had to take prescriptions for that. Before Plexus, I didn't know that wasn't the norm. I mean, you went to the doctor, they wrote you a prescription. I didn't know anything about gut health. It was just, it is what it was. So everything looked perfect, but at the same time, I was having those ailments, and again, I didn't know any better. So pretty much before Plexus, that's what was going on. I didn't know that there were natural products out there that could help me. And that's pretty much where my journey began. So I'm sure we'll talk about that in a little while.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, and honestly, I'm in Ariel's inner circle, and I didn't know those things about her. But I want to open up the segue to the story or to the next question. I'm one of the people that noticed Ariel was looking better and feeling better. And so Ariel's the first person who shared Plexus with me, really. But this was before I didn't know Plexus was a direct sales company. I had no idea. Literally, Ariel refers me to Jen Hawkins, whom we were all buying the product from. But tell us how you got introduced to Plexus.
Okay, yeah, and like Rainey said, it's funny. Before we knew what an MLM or network marketing, I always remember Rainey saying, because like she said, we were Jen Hawkins customers. We're like, we don't know what this is. It could be something they're making in the basement. We don't know, but we're taking it. We didn't know what it was. So I was introduced to Plexus. I was friends with Celeste. Y'all know who Celeste Cohen is. I guess I hadn't seen her in a couple months. It was right after summer. Our kids had just gone back to school, and I was meeting her for lunch, and she walked in, and she had on these skinny red jeans, okay? You got to be thin to wear skinny red jeans. And I looked at her, and I was like, girl, what are you doing? And she just, I mean, like I said, none of us, I don't even think she knew what was going on. She was like, oh, my friend from college started posting about this drink that she's drinking. She goes, it's a powder. You mix it with water, and you take some pills. And I was like, sign me up. You know, if I can wear skinny red jeans like that, sign me up. So literally she texted me Jen Hawkins' website. I clicked on it and she's like, oh, and I always remember Celeste said, oh, and by the way, order preferred because it's cheaper. And I was like, okay. So I did. I didn't know what I was taking. I've never been one that was into the science. I'm not a science product guru girl. I saw that it worked, and that's all I cared about. I didn't care what was in it. She had me sold. So basically, Celeste sent me to Jen Hawkins, and I was her customer for 9 months before ever joining Plexus. And I know Rainey was her customer for a really long time. I sent my mom to her. We all just sent everybody we knew to Jen Hawkins as a customer.
So crazy.
So looking back on it now that we know how everything works, but back then we had no clue. So,
and I think I don't know about you, but I think in some ways that served us well because we didn't know to be upset if somebody told us no because we were kind of like, okay, whatever. We didn't know. And so I love that we both entered this clueless. Ariel and I are very much the same in regards to our friends looked great, nobody was dying, and we wanted in, you know, and that's the heart of my story too, is, you know, at least what got me interested in Plexus. So for those of you out there that have more of our personality that way, you get it, right? So tell me about your business journey. So you were clueless like me, a clueless customer. So I know your story, but tell everyone else how you got involved on the business side of it.
Okay, so like I said, I was Jen Hawkins' customer. I was happy just being a customer. Like I said, I didn't know what it was, network marketing. I was happy. I didn't need extra money. I knew I was feeling good. So I told you before that I was taking all those prescriptions. So when I signed up as a customer, I was taking Plexus Slim and Accelerator. And then after losing like 20 pounds, stupid me goes, I've hit a rut, Jen Hawkins. What do I do now? Thinking, you know, crazy. And she's like, add the ProBio in. And so I added the probiotic, the ProBio 5, and that's when I just started feeling better. Not talking weight loss, I'm just talking the health. No more anxiety, no more migraines, which I was getting migraines like every other day. And my blood pressure, everything was just leveling out. So my 4-year anniversary is coming up, gosh, like the last day of April. And that'll be, 4 years for us?
Yes.
And I've been prescription free. But again, I didn't see it back then, you know. So anyways, I noticed I was feeling better. I was still just happy as a customer. I think at that point, a lot of my friends had already signed up. Rainey signed up literally right before me. Celeste had already signed up. And then one of our other best friends at the time, Beth Anderson, signed up to sell Plexus. And like I said, we didn't know how it all worked, who to sign up under. So everybody was doing it, and I just didn't want to be left out. So that's the sole reason I signed up for Plexus, not to work it, not for income, just because I didn't want them all going out to lunch without me and having fun without me. That's the sole purpose that I signed up for Plexus. Like I said, I signed up under Beth Anderson. And you know what's funny? I'd been taking the products for 9 months before she even tried it. So if you're thinking about working the business, do it. Don't wait. That's one of my biggest regrets. So I signed up as an ambassador. And again, I had no intentions of working the business. The first 3 months of my journey, I really didn't do anything. I sent the emails like Celeste said to do. I posted on Facebook, but I wasn't serious about the business. I didn't catch what it could be. It took me 3 months to go silver. And that's when I kind of realized, oh, this could be something. But I still wasn't sold on, oh, this is going to be a career. I never imagined this could be a career. Some people caught it right away. I know Rainey ran with it from the beginning. So it took me 3 months to go silver. And then I kept signing people, and then I found my level 1 rock star. I wish I had a timeline of everything. I don't. I signed my friend Melissa Eichenhorst. And she's like, girl, this could be it for us. And I was still like, meh, whatever. And I should mention, at the time, I had another job as well. I started an online clothing company within the same week of joining Plexus because I wanted something fun to do in my spare time. So I have both of those, and I was like, I've got this other side gig going, I don't care. And so then Melissa really kind of showed me what this could be, and that's when it clicked. When I hit gold, and I was like, okay, this is something. So it took me 3 months to go silver, and then in May, I hit emerald. Almost a year later, it took me 11 months to go emerald, and then 2 months later, I went sapphire, and then I thought, oh man, I'm going to be diamond the next month. I'd seen Rainey, I'd seen my sponsor, everybody had done it in a year, and I'm like, I got this. I didn't have it. Then I was stuck at sapphire, a great place to be stuck, but I was at sapphire for a year before I hit diamond. I kind of just coasted through. We had huge momentum, and then everything came to a stop. And I think it's important to share with my journey because it's a huge part of my story, and it's made me a lot stronger. I used to be really embarrassed to tell people this. I actually got outranked. Melissa Eichenhorst hit diamond 4 months before I did. So when people tell me they're struggling or they see all these people around them moving up so fast, y'all, I truly get it because I was in that position. I just felt like, oh my gosh, what am I doing wrong? What's wrong with me? Rainey did it, Beth did it, Celeste did it. All these people around us were doing it. Melissa beat me. I just felt like a failure. So a couple months there, I just kind of like went into my own thing. And then I was like, stop feeling sorry for myself. Get out there and figure out what the problem was. And it's kind of like the Sarah Marble story. Y'all have heard, she was stuck at Emerald, I believe, for a really long time. And she needed that personal growth and development. And that was huge in my journey as well. Once I started to figure out more about me and my growth, then things started to change. And I did hit diamond on my 2-year mark, which was my goal. I wanted to be a diamond when we went to convention. And I did make it happen. But again, my story, it took a lot longer than a lot of people. Now, some of you may say, oh, that seems super fast, 2 years to diamond. But again, I kept comparing myself to all of my friends around me that had just done it so quickly. So I do like to share that I get it. It was a struggle, and not all of us do it in, 9 months time.
So during that time that you were saying you focused on personal development, are there some takeaways? Because I know probably this team is going, I feel stuck at XYZ rank. What are some of the things that you did, and maybe what are a couple of the things that you learned about yourself that kind of help you regain them?
Okay, well, I realized that first of all, I need to stop comparing myself to everybody else. I think that was the biggest thing that was holding me back, was that comparison. I had to get it out of my head. I'm not Rainey. I'm not Beth. I'm sure as hell not Celeste. I'm me. And so once I got it out of my head to stop comparing to everybody else, that's when the light bulb clicked. I literally put those blinders on, and I looked at what I had done before that was making us successful, and it was that momentum. Once I realized, I read a lot. I have a whole little pile of books. I read a whole lot of personal growth and development, found out more about me and my personality. And then I really honed in on my downline. By helping them, it helped me. And that was huge. For so long, I was kind of just like me, me, me. But by helping everybody else, it helped me at the same time. And that's what really propelled me to that next level.
Well, I think, isn't it, they say something, or we say something like, help 5 people go silver, 4 people go silver.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's 5 people, yeah.
So if you can find 5 people in your first 3 levels to go silver, and when you're helping someone else, you're ultimately going to reach your goals. And it feels so much better because the focus is off of yourself. You can kind of take that pressure off yourself too. Mm-hmm. I love those advices. Out of that pile of books, do you have a favorite that you want to share with the group?
Let me see. How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's a good one. You guys, anything John Maxwell. And then just like for any network marketing, I love this Sarah Robbins book. I think that's an easy read. And of course, Go Pro as well.
Yeah, those are good classics, right? I mean, and if you're having trouble connecting with people, absolutely the Dale Carnegie book, the How to Win Friends and Influence People, all day long. It's a skill. At the end of the day, connecting with people, it's a learned skill. Some of us, just like some people are just naturally gifted artists, right? Like someone can sit down and do a self-portrait or, do amazing things in the imaginative world. Or some people are gifted with a great voice. That doesn't mean that somebody like me couldn't learn to sing, but I'm going to have to work at it. I'm probably going to have to take classes where other people are just gifted. Same thing in the network marketing arena, right? It's a skill.
No, agreed. That's a great book. I'm actually going to try and sit down. I'm going to reread it again.
Excellent. I think I'm in a book study right now. I don't know if you saw, I don't know if you saw it on you're on my team page, right? Yeah. I posted a book. We're doing a book called You're a Bad Bleep.
Oh, I know which book you're talking about.
Yeah. And so, I told my team, I was like, keep an open mind. It's got some language in it, but we're big adults here. We can handle it. But the content is so good. I'm like almost through the first part.
Oh, good.
That's where we're going to discuss. And I'm loving it so far. And I think it applies to life, but it absolutely applies to what we do. So put that one on your list because it's a good one.
Another one, the 4 color personalities is another good one because for the longest time, I thought everybody was like me. I mean, I'm motivated by money. I'm not going to lie. That's a huge motivator for me. And I just assumed everybody was.
Right.
Why not? Like I had team lunch yesterday with some newbies and we were talking about what motivates us. And 2 of the girls were like, yeah, money doesn't even motivate us. Whoa, So having read that book, I kind of knew how to talk to them and figure out what it was. So yeah, I think, reading these books, guys, is huge,
It gives us an insight, because again, if it's about network marketing and we're connecting with our network, then we're going to have to do some homework and research on how to be better at doing that. So
absolutely.
All super suggestions. So you told us about your business journey. So, we've been around almost 4 years now. We get that there's ups and downs, right?
Absolutely.
How do you stay motivated in this?
Okay. And y'all saw I was unmotivated for a while. Once I got outranked, I had myself a pity party. So I get it. Now to try and stay motivated, you guys, it's about my team, hearing their stories and trying to get them, the teachers on my team that want to be able to stay home with their kids. Getting hearing those testimonies, those financial testimonies from our team, that's huge in motivation for me. And also just getting into action. If I can stay in action and stay in momentum, that's going to motivate me. And hopefully that's going to duplicate to my team as well that's not feeling the motivation because it happens. So hopefully if they see me doing my action, they're going to get motivated to do the same thing. But like I said, just trying to help my team. Once I figured out that helping others, it helps everyone. That is truly what motivates me, is trying to help my team reach that next goal, reach the next level, help them get to Hawaii, help them, get money to pay their groceries, whatever it is. That truly, truly motivates me.
I love that. I love that you said your team motivates you. I'm going to attempt to do this without making everyone super dizzy, and I don't even know the angle. Okay, I'm totally losing it. Okay, not working. Maybe I can do it that way. Okay, so see that sign above the fake?
I do, yep.
It says Montana. Okay, so it says Montana on it. And so one of my teammates in Montana sent that sign to me. It actually says Big Sky Country, Montana. That's where she lives. And so I chose to hang it in my office because it reminds me that that's, a fairly uncharted territory. Mm-hmm. And to quit on any level, to get unmotivated on any level, is to quit on them. Much less my 4 walls. Like I keep a picture of Sadie in front of me and behind me. But because I'm a firm believer that this is way more than how it impacts me and my world. right? I have to be aware and sensitive to how it has yet to bless others. And so, although it says Big Sky Montana, it represents my entire team, in my opinion. And so that's also, so I love that you said that.
Yeah.
Do you have a go-to motivation phrase?
I kind of have two. I don't know. I mean, they're not like motivational phrases, but I like the one, so I never fall out of momentum, is the speed of the leader is the speed of the team. I always have to remind myself that if I'm asking my team to do something, I sure as heck better be setting the example and doing the same thing. Like, for example, with the Garmin watch. If I'm asking my team, if you're working towards it, I want them to see I'm working towards it too. I'm not just asking them to do something. We as leaders are also doing the same thing. So I love that. The speed of the leader is the speed of the team. And then also, when I had to learn to put my blinders on, I always like to tell people it's not about the destination, but it's about the journey. I think the journey makes us who we are. I mean,
I love that. Ooh,
right?
That's good, girl. That's super good. What was the first one again?
The speed of the leader is the speed of the team.
Okay, I knew what it was. I had her repeat that on purpose because it was A, worth repeating, but B, that's a question that you can also ask yourself every day. Are you best say with your team? But ask yourself, what's the speed of the leader?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I ask myself that too. You know, I have to kick myself into gear at times as well and say, you know what? And here's the reality is, we may not always reach every single goal we set for ourselves. I can tell you, although I have reached several goals within Plexus, I'm still reaching goals. And sometimes I have to put those back a little bit because that month I didn't quite get it. I know if I stay in activity that I am setting myself up for a great following month or the great following month. It's those months that I kind of just sit back and do nothing are the months that you have to worry about, you know, or the ones that you look back and you don't feel good about.
And your team can sense when you're not working. I mean, they know. It's apparent. So absolutely, I agree. I agree 100%.
Yeah. Okay, so what are some business tips for this group?
Okay, business tips. One thing I've always been told is I have a lot of passion, and I think you got to bring your passion. You need to bring your passion for yourself, first of all. You've got to have that passion for yourself. You've got to have passion for the products. Like I said, when I started, I didn't know anything inside the products, but I had passion because they were working. So when people talk to me, you know, it trickles out. And the same thing with the business plan. You guys, I didn't know anything about the business plan when I started. In those first 3 months when I was doing nothing, not realizing what was going on, I had people tell me they wanted to join my team as an ambassador. And I said, no, just stay my customer. Like, I didn't get it, you know? So you bet your butt I went and read the compensation plan. I have passion for this compensation plan. Passion is huge. Like I told you my story about, you know, taking me longer than my level 1. I mean, just put those blinders on and you have to focus on yourself. Truly stop worrying about everyone around you and getting caught up on Facebook and this and that. Worry about you and your team, and you're going to go so much farther, so much quicker than comparing. Just stop the comparing. Trust me, like I said, I learned my lesson with that, and I think that's huge. I mean, these are simple that you guys already know. Sharing is huge. Share on Facebook, Instagram. You've got to get out there and share. I know a lot of us, we started our business with social media, and it's not that easy these days. You have to get out there in person and talk to people and share. I always carry the little sample cards with me, and I try and talk to people when I'm at the grocery store, the mall, the airplane. You just have to get out there and share no matter what. You gotta just don't be afraid. If you don't have a testimony, share Rainey's testimony. Share my testimony. Share Celeste's testimony. Too often people say they're gonna wait until they have their own story. Y'all, don't wait. You've got to do it now, or else someone's going to share it with the people you are going to. You just cannot wait. And then something else that's really helped me is finding a sideline partner. Having somebody that's the same rank as you, going through the same struggles, has been really good for me. I have like 2 sideline partners. We run ideas by each other. We hold each other accountable. I think that's a big one. If you have somebody to hold you accountable other than yourself, checking in on you is huge. It's just great to have a sideline. I talk to Rainey all the time about Plexus and my business and ideas. So having a sideline partner, huge, huge, huge. I highly recommend that as well.
Such good, sound advice. And you know, Ariel said, y'all know this is basics, but I will tell you every day that they're basics that are crucial for your business. They're basics that got us to where we are. And I would also say that got anybody else that's in any type of momentum to where they are. Always go back to these core values in what we do. So you said something about focus and, you know, and just having those blinders on and you know, sharing. Would you, because, you know, we put this rule out there about 5-3-1. But I tell this team often that I think that's a great starting ground. It puts you in a pattern of being consistent. But would you say, as you are ranking, you know, going from silver to gold, gold to senior gold, etc., and especially once we get to those gold levels, would you say you were contacting more than 5-3-1?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just in California this past weekend with some of my sidelines, and Friday night we decided instead of going out to do a power hour. Yo, I reached out to 35 people. I'm a diamond. The girls I were with were sapphires. We are still constantly, you have to reach out to people. I think you do. I think you have to reach out to more than 5 people. Who is it? Is it Bridget Ryan? And excuse me if I'm getting this wrong. Doesn't she reach out to like 30 or 50 people a night? I mean, and she's a diamond. I think it's crucial to reach out to people. Absolutely. You have to set that time. I don't know if Rainey or I talked about this. I'm sure she's talked about it before. But you have to set that time for you to work your business before helping your team. When I wake up in the morning, you know, I do my little devotional, even before I get my kids up. Take my kids to school. Then I work out for an hour. I come home, and before I talk to my team, I sit down and do my personal power hour, reaching out to people. I like to get that out of the way first, so then my head is clear, and then I can focus on my team. But you have to have that. You have to be reaching out to people. If you don't, you're not going to grow.
And I think that that's so important to mention. And I reiterate this in not every single Dishing with Diamonds, but especially when I have a relationship with someone, just to say, hey, did you do way more than 5-3-1? Because I think any jewel, I think any ruby, I think anybody that's in a place of momentum will tell you they're reaching out to more than 5 people a day. And what that takes is organization. That takes a plan. That takes saying, okay, but before you go to bed, you've got a list of people you're going to contact in the morning, so you're not wasting another hour figuring out who you're going to contact the next day.
Yes.
And like you said, pay yourself first. Kind of like when we're on an airplane. Ariel travels a lot. So when you're on an airplane, they tell you, and you are an airline attendant, so you know this, they tell you to put the oxygen mask on yourself first, because how are you going to take care of whomever's next to you, the little one next to you, if you don't take care of yourself first, right?
What a great analogy.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to do that. So that's maybe your takeaway in the business, you know, for business is tomorrow, you take care of yourself first, because then that makes you stronger and better equipped to take care of your team.
Yeah, if you guys aren't doing that, I know Rainey, I'm sure she tells you guys that all the time, but it's crucial to your business. If you're serious about making a business out of this, you have to be reaching out to people every single day, and for sure more than 5. Like I said, 35 the other night. I do it every day. I'm sure Rainey does it every day. So we have to. We want to keep growing our business. So.
Absolutely. And here's the thing. I know some of you are probably conflicted, because earlier in this call we said, help your team, help your team, help your team. But then now we're sitting here telling you to help yourself, help yourself. But again, I think you are not equipped to take care of other people. Because how do you have that point of reference? Do you have anything to say on that one, Ariel?
No, I mean, look, you got to grow your team. You got to work on you, but also helping your team. Like I said, I take an hour. That's what I do. I set my little timer, an hour, whatever I get done, and then the rest is for my team. My team knows I'm available. They can call me the rest of the day, but that morning time is for me, as well as just like, the devotional or the personal growth. I think everybody just kind of needs that me time as well. I'm not saying not to focus on your team, because that's going to get you there as well, but you need both of them. They go hand in hand.
It's a balance, and it's hand in hand.
Yeah.
So, okay, a couple more questions for you, maybe a few more. How many, and maybe you don't know this off the top of your head, but around how many people have you personally sponsored in Plexus? Okay. And then how many of them would you say are going with you on
runners? Okay, yeah. So I signed my husband as a level 1. So I add his people in as well, because basically my husband is me. He has a completely another job. He doesn't work this. You see a lot of ambassadors that really work this. And unfortunately, that's not my husband. So I'm just going to be straight up with you. I count his as my level 1s because basically they are. So, and I know you see a lot. I'm sure you guys get a lot of diamonds on here that have huge, huge numbers. I'm just going to be real and honest with you. I don't have huge, huge numbers. Between me and my husband, I probably have 50 to 60 level 1s. Runners, y'all, I'm still looking for a lot of my runners. I've got one, and like I said, I'm just going to throw it out here. I'm real. What you see is what you get. I have one leg of jewels. They're all under Melissa Eichenhorst. My outside legs, I don't have a single jewel. I have a senior ruby, and then the rest are about gold, senior gold. So I'm still really working to find runners. I have runners, like I said, gold, senior ruby. So outside of Melissa, I want to say I have about 8 runners. So
I think that just so it makes you feel a little bit better, because we do this on a weekly basis. That's about what we hear. At the end of the day, no matter how many people you've sponsored, you usually end up with less than 10 that are truly what we would call runners, people that are in momentum, working their business, focused on getting to the next rank.
And see, guys, that's where putting my blinders on, because I assumed, hello, Celeste Gwen, hello, Roz Payne, hello, Rainey Anderson. So that's nice to hear that I'm not,
You have those anomalies from, as we know, but that's good, because what I think that does is just give us inspiration that if what one person can do, so can another, right? Alex says that all the time. And that doesn't mean that it can never be done again. And that doesn't mean that any of you on this call can't duplicate that effort, or even Ariel or I. We're still looking, we're still sponsoring people. So I think Melissa, in speaking of, did a video one time on her number. What her was the, was it her number 7? Was it her number 73? I don't know. I don't remember. 43. Who knows?
Yeah, it was like in her 40s. It was like her first one was like in her 40s, and her second one, and I know this because they're on my team, and her second one wasn't until like number 70 something.
So don't give up. I remind this sweet group of this often. Jen Hawkins pursued Celeste on the business side of it for 9 months. Mm-hmm. This would have looked a lot different had Celeste not joined. Mm-hmm. And then number 2, had Jen given up at month 6 or 7 or 8, or month 1 for that matter. How many of you are out there contacting people and it's only been a month and they haven't called you back, or they said they were interested and then they went radio silent? Hello, Celeste Gwen. Yeah. How many of you are sitting on a Celeste Gwen?
And y'all, to put into this with the whole Jen Hawkins, she's told me before, and I'd like to tell people, be bold. Get out there and ask people, because she's told me this, and I think she spoke on it once at convention to her group, that one of her biggest regrets was she assumed that myself and Rainey, she said both of our names as we were her customers, she assumed we didn't need the business, so she just didn't ask us. She always tells me that's one of her biggest regrets, that she didn't personally ask me and Rainey to join her team and be her level 1s. So get out there and be bold, you guys. Don't take it for granted. You never know, because if you don't ask, somebody else is going to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, okay, I'm going to ask this question and then one other, and we'll be wrapped up. What is a lesson, and you've given us so many, so if you don't have one off the top of your head, it's okay, because you've shared so much wisdom with us. But what is a lesson that you've learned on this journey?
Okay, I know I've shared a lot of stuff, so I'm going to kind of share like something for me. I learned just through Plexus that I'm strong that I can be a leader. I never imagined myself as a leader of a team with, 12,000 people. Never did I imagine that. Plexus brought out a part of me that I didn't know that I had inside. For the longest time, I was mom and Jason's wife. We had that appearance of the PTA mom, all of that. But there was so much more, and this is just brought out. I didn't realize that I was capable of so much more. And Plexus really showed me how strong that I can be. So I am thankful just for that, for finding that inner piece about me and what I can do, how strong I am. So that's one big thing I've learned. Again, I could give you tips and stuff, but that's one thing. I think so many of us we don't know who we are inside. And Plexus really, we didn't know what we were going to be doing, that we'd have teams and be leaders and trainings. I never imagined that. So I think it's been great. It's been great.
I think that's one of my favorite answers that I've heard in regards to this question, because it does speak to the point that this journey is so much about personal development. I would almost go out on a limb and say it's all about personal development.
It really is. When you look at it and you break it down, it's about personal development for everybody.
For sure. So we always ended on this question. It's our fun question. So Diamond, what have you been able to do? Fun splurgy things. And also if you speak to something from your heart as well that, that means to you. But I always like this team to dream big. And so whether that's something from a, philanthropic, I can never say that word. Yeah, charitable standpoint, or, something fun, or speak to both of them. But
no, absolutely. So, like I said, before Plexus, I was a stay-at-home mom. I thought we already had everything, One thing, I actually put makeup on for this, and I put a shirt on. But I'm going to be honest, I got my workout pants underneath. So I'm a very casual. I'm not into things, shoes, purses, jewelry. I got my Fitbit on. That's it. I'm a pretty plain Jane. What you see with me is what you get. You see my hair. I'm really into making memories. Family is really important to me. A lot of people think I'm an extrovert. I'm an introvert. I'm an extroverted introvert, I like to say. So I just like being at home with my family, making memories. I love going on vacation. That's my jam. I'll admit it. I love to go on fancy vacations with our kids. Since Plexus, we've been to Disney World before, but we went to Disney World once I hit Diamond on a whole nother level that I just never thought we could do. We went to the Bahamas, and it was great. So I just like dream vacations, being with my family. And then also we are building our dream house. I'm actually going to be right up the road from Rainey, so that's exciting. She's not going to be the only Prosper Diamond anymore. But
I get to work.
Yeah. You always think, oh, when we're 50, we're going to build our dream home or this, that we're actually doing it now is just incredible. So those have been the two biggest things for our family. But also, as Rainey said, philanthropically, I think.
Sounds good.
I've never really been, and that was just me. I'm selfish. I had never really thought about donating to other causes. And there's the Plexus Gems Thrive Home. I'm sure several of you have heard. Melissa Eichenhorst, actually some girls on my team, are the ones that started it and got us involved. So we do like monthly donations for that to help the sex trafficked children in Thailand. So that, before I never even thought about it, but finding out that these children are the same age as my kids and what they've been through, it's horrific to even think about. So that's been one of the things that pulls on our heartstrings. And so to be able to donate to that. And then my kids' school, we donate to their school as well. So
I think that's awesome. And, I am a firm believer that network marketing allows us to be better, better
Absolutely.
parents, better spouses, better friends, and better givers. And so I love that it has allowed you those freedoms in your life, that you're able to go and travel the way you travel. And y'all should follow Ariel, because she goes on some pretty fabulous trips for sure. And
yes, on Instagram I always post all my travel pictures.
So awesome. So definitely find her, follow her, thank her for sharing her time with you today. You've been absolutely amazing. I appreciate you. Not only for doing this, but for being a great friend. We've made some great memories together, and I look forward to continuing many more years of that. And thank you.
Oh, I love Rainey. Y'all are so lucky to have her as your team leader. She's great. We love Rainey so much. So thank you for having me. It was great.
Thank you. So until next time, you guys, we'll see you. Go work your businesses. And as always, go Plexus.